strange talking into this when it's very strange because there's lots of people here. The allotment's come on a bit. Of course, I'm not at the allotment. I'm at the N.E.C. Gardeners Worldwide. I'm going to take you out. Okay, so I've met some friends here today. I thought I'd ask them some advice. They might want some advice from me actually. So I don't know, have you got any questions for me? If anyone wants to ask me anything, just fire away. So do you want to see my friends?
I know you've all come to see Toby Buckland, and he's just behind the stage. So, Toby, out you come, please. Give him a big hand, if you will, please.
Well, good afternoon, actually.
Good afternoon.
It's getting away from us, isn't it?
Now, we're here in the potting shed, in the pot zone, so we're going to talk about containers. So we'd have a bit of a chat.
Yes.
And I thought it'd be interesting to know, how do you use containers at home? First of all, are they important in your garden? I'm guessing yes. I have been to your garden and I know you do have quite a lot of pots.
Yeah.
So tell us about them. How important are they to you?
Well, they are. We use them outside as little sentinels outside our patio doors, like most people really. I have two pots the same, with the same planting either side. And this year, marguerites are the big thing. It's been do you know what marguerites are? They're sort of South African daisy-like flowers. It's been a really good year for them because all those sort of tender perennials that are raised in polytunnels and glass houses are really early spring, and they're bigger this year than they've ever been. Well, ever since I've been gardening, actually. It's been so they're like these great big, well, they're like scatter cushions, you know, it's on bean bags even. They're massive, so you use them like that. Well, it depends. Because I grow a lot of herbs. I'm the president of the Herb Society, Kevin, and I grow a lot of herbs.
Very prestigious.
Well, it is. It's all herbal baths and presidential cavalcades, you can imagine. But if you're growing herbs or silver leaf plants, it's very important that you add grit to your compost. Now, the grit, you always hear it's for drainage, but it's not really. It's to add mineral content. Because if you're growing any Mediterranean plants or plants like salvias, for example, they have quite a high demand for sort of minerals and micronutrients that you get off the dust in stone. If these things, you see them growing in the wild, it's in sort of shingles and screw slope gravels, and they really like that. And in this sort of northern European peat, they get this Phytophthora disease, like lavenders, they get this, and rosemary, you sometimes see it with this sort of brown markings on the leaves. They're really prone to it, so you've got to bump up the mineral
working
content.
grit into that can actually combat that.
Yeah, working grit, and John N.E.C as well, sort of something with natural minerals.
So you want to go
from year to year. But I do like the wooden packets.
Have you got enough compost there? There's more over here.
I might just tip it in. One of the things, it's nice to plant for purpose really. Where you don't have soil, obviously containers are a really good way to go. And do you remember last year when we had the awful storms? Dawlish train station got washed away. Well, I live in Dawlish, and when the workmen were down there, there's thousands of them. I mean, we're rebuilding the tracks. I went in and saw the station manager, and I said, "Oh, I own a nursery," and can I replant the train station? They were really pleased, and so I went down and I replanted it. And I've set some rules about what you're allowed to plant on train stations and what you're not. And you're not allowed to plant red or green flowers in case it confuses the drivers that they're seeing stop and go signs. Literally, seriously. Seriously, you can sort of immediately see that these chocolate hookerers are making the container seem more shiny and glossy. It's immediately apparent. Whereas this looks quite sort of a bit insipid, doesn't it? That would look better in the terracotta. If that was the terracotta, that'd be okay. So I'm immediately going to go with some of those.
Can I help you at all? Do you want me to pass anything over?
Well, I'll tell you, if you'd hold the crate for me, Kev,
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, make use of me. Absolutely.
Thank you. And do you know, I really love potting up. I love this. It's my favourite thing. It's like going through the seed catalogues or going through bulb catalogues and then ripping out the pictures of the plant. I am a terrible plant snob. Terrible. I am really, but I enjoy it so much, and I love it when you find a plant that just makes its neighbours look better. It's a lovely thing. Cool. And most people don't bother, and that's why their gardens look awful. Frankly. But there we are. But we're here to help, aren't we? So I think that's going to be a bit of a win, Kev. I'll put that on the side. I won't look at it.
Okay.
I might go with that, but I shall certainly go with those.
Lovely.
What do you think? See that? These are almost, because in the low light here, you see they're struggling to get the chlorophyll. This isn't Verbena rigida, and it would normally have a much darker leaf than that. But these purple flowers are sort of produced all summer long, and it will run and riddle round through this pot like mad. But it's certainly good for now, so I'll have a couple of those. And those are looking well, aren't they? And I'm going to have, this is a plant, I saw this original. This will be a good starting point now.
Okay, can I put this down?
You can, Kevin. Thank you. Yeah.
As me say, yes, no problem. I'll hold the crate for you.
The way I do it is I don't fill the container right to the top. And if I was planting at home, what I'm going to do this. If I was planting at home, you're putting things out in the garden, and there you go to a nursery and you buy the plants. No matter where it's from, what I always do is I take that bit of soil off the top, that bit from around the outside there. And I always tease out the roots, but always take that bit off there. And the reason for that is that soil's been sort of washed through and has no nutrient value whatsoever. And you want to put some soil over the top so you don't see the dark peaty ring when you plant something. But also that little inch layer there, if you chuck that away, is the bit that's going to have seeds and weed seeds in it, which you don't want to plant in your own garden. I'm not saying that you will, but why take a chance? It doesn't take some matter of moments, isn't it?
I mean, so you're obviously planting this to look nice now, but is this an accurate sort of view of how closely you would put these plants in together if you were doing this for real at home?
Well, yes, I would. You've got to have instant impacts, and the thing to remember is you've got to leave the plants. The beauty of a container is that you let the plants find their own light. They will spread out over the sides, and they will sort of look after themselves. The key thing is whatever you use. If you're using traditional plants like petunias, petunia whites. These are seedling petunias. Most petunias that are sold these days are from cuttings, and they are super vigorous. And if you don't prune them when you've got them in a hanging basket or container, they'll take over. And so you've got to look at this through the summer and think, well, there's a bit of someone with quite broad shoulders in there. I'm going to bring them back down to size and let other things take over. So it's not about, you don't have to do that work, but and finally, sorry Kev,
you're all right.
It's always good to shake it all down and gets everything
gorgeous.
In contact with it.
What do we think, everybody? Lovely? Really beautiful. Really, really nice.
It's yours for £12.
hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did, and Mike did, even though he thought he was going to hate it. But we were really lucky because the day before had been Buckton down, and we wouldn't have been able to go and enjoy the outside in the same way. Yeah, great fun. Didn't buy a lot. I did buy a couple of plants that needed rescuing at the end when they're selling them all off for £1 each. I haven't brought them down actually, but little perennials that I'm going to pot up and try and look after. But Mike treated me to a pair of left-handed secateurs. I'm going to show you what they're like. They're those. They're very much like a pair of right-handed secateurs, but apparently they're for left-handers, which is great because I am left-handed. I've never wondered whether my secateurs are left or right-handed or not, but I'm sure that's going to make a big difference now. So thanks, Mike. They're great. They were one of Gardener's World's top products. So yeah, I was pleased with those. Nice colour. Nice and sharp. I'm going to look after those ones because I'm terrible for just leaving them. And at home I have just been using my dressmaking scissors to trim things, so I think Mike feels a bit sorry for me. Anyway, so there's that. And then there was a wonderful stall called East of Eden, which had all sort of paraphernalia for your, sorry, this pigeon nearly dived on me, all sorts of paraphernalia for your garden, like ironwork things. And I don't know what it is about me, but I've always wanted a weather vane. I don't know why. So when I saw one for £10, I thought, yeah, that's going to be good. So the one on display looked perfect. I asked for it, handed my £10 over, got given a nice little cardboard box. Took it home and then had great fun last night, realising why it was £10. I've got the top, I've got a little cockerel here. Always seems to be pointing to me. I think I'm magnetic north. Look. Well, no, I suppose that's me there. I suppose it's because it's like that. You've got your nice little windy bit going round, whatever you call that bit. And then you've got west, north, west, south, and east. And I don't know about you, and I don't suppose it matters in the world of weather vanes, but I think that S is upside down. I'm pretty sure that's been welded on the wrong way up. If I'd paid 50 quid for that, I wouldn't be happy, but £10 East of Eden, I suppose you get what you pay for. Anyway, it's made me laugh. Look, he's pointing at me again. He's pointing at my head the whole time. So anyway, don't know if he'll go up here or at home, but just killed him. Sorry, cockerel. We'll push him together and let you know where he goes. In fact, let's put him there for now. In fact, it's a quick thank you. I was so pleased with the responses I got on my last post. I had so many queries that I thought you'd just turn off after the first couple of minutes because I wasn't doing anything. I was just asking you to solve my problems. And yeah, I was told to leave my peas to keep growing, not to worry about the flowers. They'd come when they were ready. And wouldn't you know, today I found my first pea flower on those huge tall peas. There we go. I've got I've had several people saying about using Epsom salts to stop the yellowing on the courgette. I haven't managed to get hold of any yet. I've never bought Epsom salts before and I didn't know where to get them. They didn't have them at Morrison's. So I'm going to go and try Boots. Someone said a pharmacist, so I'll try that. What else did people help me with? Oh, all sorts of things. Thank you so much for all your comments and advice. I must also say a great tip that I got the other day as well, because we have been winding our beans around the poles, was from Tony over at Tony's Allotment, and he told me that beans will only wrap themselves one way round a pole. They will, oh, I'm going the wrong way. They will only go anti-clockwise. Never try and wind your beans round a pole clockwise. They'll just snap back out of it and go anti-clockwise. Does anyone know why that is? Is it just beans, or is it sweet peas and all sorts as well? Is it because we're in the northern hemisphere? Maybe they go clockwise in Australia. I don't know, but good one, Tony. I really like that. And oh, all sorts of other things I could thank you for, but it's 8:30 at night and I've been digging and working and it's time now to go home and have a nice shower, I think, and maybe a glass of wine. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed a little look around the show. I had great fun. That Jim Burgess, what a lovely fella. Bit embarrassed when I met him, bit starstruck, but Mike called him over and told him I wanted his photo, so a bit embarrassed. But yeah, good fun, lovely man. And hopefully next week I'll have a bit more of the allotment. It's taken off like crazy, like nobody's business. I know you're all doing reveals and things on your videos. We've had some potatoes and spinach. We've had broad beans actually, which we ate whole. We picked some small ones and ate them whole. Yeah, so it's really starting to pay off now. We're starting to get things back. Loving it, really loving it, still loving it. Hope you've had a good weekend. Hope you enjoyed, didn't mind my shaky hand too much at the at Birmingham. Bit of a wobbly thing. Got a bit embarrassed filming in front of people. Got to get over that. And have a lovely week, and I will see you back at the allotment next weekend. Okay, thank you.